Two games with huge open worlds. Two giants with cruel yet exciting protagonists and enticing stories. One is the king of fantasy open world RPGs, and the other is the most realistic Wild West RPG we've ever seen. Witcher 3, Wild Hunt versus Red Dead Redemption 2. We've picked 10 categories where these games shine the most, and we choose a winner on those. Are you ready? I'm Wes Malik from SegmentNext, and here is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt versus Red Dead Redemption 2, The Battle of Giants. Before we start, let us remind you that the winners we pick on every category is purely our own decisions and don't come as a result of a study or statistic. If you have a different opinion, let us know and why. We want to know what you think. With that being said, let's start. The main protagonist. For Witcher 3, we have Geralt of Rivia, or to put it into its universe's lore, the Butcher of Blaviken. And that he is. Geralt is an animal in battle, merciless, no remorse. In the first half of the game, you'll frequently find people who are afraid of him and call him a murderer, even if that is for his own personal reasons. Putting that aside, Geralt is a true fan of beautiful women, but a protective guardian to Ciri. He knows his way around with people and can get through any conversation, even with a harsh tone. Even so, Geralt is one of our favorite protagonists in video games, up there with Kratos, Solid Snake, Nathan Drake, and more. In Red Dead Redemption 2 now, we have Arthur Morgan. Arthur is another cold and brutal character. Don't get fooled by his clean face, or bearded face, depending on how you play him, and choice of words. In reality, he has little to no sympathy to those he hurts. He is very much aware that he's a bad guy. He has a moral code, even if it doesn't apply to society standards, and that's what differentiates him from other outlaws in the game. The winner? The Witcher 3. Because we feel like the amount of choices you have in Red Dead Redemption 2 makes Arthur feel less unique than Geralt. You can choose to be bad or good, leaving out the fun of controlling a character that acts his way. The decision was tough, but we give 1 point to Geralt. Map size. The last few years worked wonders for the open-world RPG genre. Many amazing games have released on that matter, like Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and our own Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Both games have massive open worlds, spreading for miles. The Witcher 3's map is 3.3 times bigger than the original Red Dead Redemption game. RDR2, on the other hand, is even bigger. In reality, it includes the original Red Dead Redemption map in it, and that area isn't that big. Density is also a factor in this category. Who would want a map full of nothingness? Luckily, both The Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2 have managed to spread activities through the map exceptionally well. There can only be one winner, though. The winner? Red Dead Redemption 2. This decision was made not only because the map in their game is much bigger, but it also has more substantial encounters. Campaign. In terms of campaign, both games share exciting stories, but clearly they don't compare to one another. The first is a fantasy RPG with lore full of monsters and superstition. The other is a classic Western story with extremely strong narrative. It wouldn't be fair to compare those two, since their stories are completely different, but we can tell you which one we found the most exciting. The winner? The Witcher 3. Even though Red Dead Redemption 2's story is exceptionally made, we can't get past the fact that The Witcher 3 is built around a huge universe filled with anything you can imagine. From start to finish, the main and the expansions campaign is filled with wonders. Who can forget the Kaer Morhen battle and the Von Everec story? We know we can't. Side missions. Side missions are what keeps you in the game, lengthening your playtime and enhancing your overall experience. Even if the story of the game is exciting and dramatic, if its side missions are blunt fetch or kill tasks, you'll get bored out of your mind. Both our games are strong options on that matter. Their side missions are complete tales of their own. Even though there are some shorter and more generic ones, both The Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2 make the industry a better place with their content. The choice here was hard. The winner? Red Dead Redemption 2. Side missions in Red Dead Redemption 2 happen in a natural way, and that is what made our decision a bit easier. It's good to see Red Dead Redemption 2 differ on that subject, having a real breathing world where people need help and situations need handling. And apart from that, there's so many different ways to approach those missions that it wouldn't be fair for us not to give it a point for this. Extra activities. By extra activities, we mean whatever you do on the map besides fighting and continuing the main story. That could be hunting, crafting, fishing, and so on. Let's be honest, most of us have spent close to 9 hours doing crafting. There is no hunting in a regular manner, only monster hunting, and even so, crafting is blunt and unneeded. Witcher has one thing other games don't have though: Gwent. During our playthrough, we must have spent hours and hours playing Gwent and searching for the cards we need for our decks. The game may have only one substantial side activity, but it must be our favorite one ever. RDR2 now is full of extra activities, and they are well made. From hunting to horse taming to camp upgrading to minigames. Rockstar's game is a diamond when it comes to time spending, or wasting. It's true that those kind of activities aren't for everyone, and some might find them boring, but they're still a substantial part of its world. The winner? Red Dead Redemption 2. Even though we still love Gwent and everything it provided to The Witcher 3, we can't deny that the extra activities in Red Dead Redemption 2 are beyond realistic. Hunting animals, fishing, and investigating crime scenes are only a few of those. NPC. Apart from their world and activities though, games have characters that you can interact with and learn valuable information. With such big universes, there's no way to find out everything about them through reading pages or pure narrative. In The Witcher 3, interactions are not only meant for task giving and information on the world, but you can also get a brief recap of the previous games if you haven't already played them. That's valuable for players that want to know more about the huge Witcher world. In RDR, interactions with NPC are expanding to a much bigger picture. Conversations here aren't linear with a bit of dialogue choices, but have different results based on your actions and familiarity with them. If you're a merciless killer, NPCs will approach conversation with a fear or negativity. If, on the other hand, you keep going to them for information and chit-chat, they'll point you to secret places or help you out with bounties and so on. The winner? Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not coincidental that Red Dead Redemption 2 has a few thousand lines of dialogue. Conversation is a big part of the game, and it provides you with information that you'll need along your way. Pretty much, if you complete the story of The Witcher, you can go on adventures on your own without having to speak to anyone. In RDR, though, you'll need people to point you to locations you simply cannot find on your own, or find out about events happening to the world as you play. Take your time while playing the game and give conversation some extra attention. You'll need it along the way. Fighting. Fighting is another important factor in each game, and in our battle, we're talking about two totally different things. On one side, we have intense sword fighting and spells, and on the other, we have precision revolver shooting and fist fighting. We don't have much to say on that matter since both games shine under their own sun. We can only choose one based on what feels the most natural and challenging. That would be the winner, The Witcher 3. Geralt's sword fighting is the most unique way to fight we've seen in a long time. RDR 2 still has intense fighting mechanics. Getting around. Getting from place to place in an open-world RPG is one of its most important components. Every title is different, so are their ways of traveling. In CD Projekt Red's The Witcher 3, you can travel by horse, boat, or via fast travel points. This is possibly the best traveling method to be used in such games since you still need to unlock the fast traveling points, but you don't need to go there on horse every time. In Red Dead Redemption now, you have to depend on your horse to get you from one place to another, making the trip much longer and tiring at some point. In Red Dead Redemption now, you have to depend on your horse to get you from one place to another, or a carriage, making the trip much longer and tiring at some point. There's a fast travel option in the game, but only with your camp, and only if you unlock a couple of upgrades. The winner? The Witcher 3. Apart from hyper-realistic, some games need to be optimal as well. Red Dead Redemption 2 developers have chosen to scrap that in favor of reality, resulting to huge distances spent on horseback with no other solution. That's where The Witcher 3 shines. Its fast traveling system is one of its best features, letting you roam the map easily without taking away the fun of exploring that specific area first. This point goes to The Witcher with eyes closed. Choices. Being able to choose how the game progresses is a huge bonus to a game. In 2018, a linear game goes as far as its main campaign goes. Choices provide replayability, and replayability gives players the opportunity to spend more time in their favorite universe. On that note, both The Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2 have a ton of choices to make. Some are smaller and have less impact on the ending, but some are closely tied to it. The winner? Red Dead Redemption 2. This decision was tough since both games have their own kind of choices to make. We went for RDR2 purely due to the fact that it has more variety and the story branches more thanks to the choices you make. The Witcher 3 has many multiple endings and was a worthy opponent, and it doesn't lack substance. Length. Both The Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are huge games in terms of playtime. According to How Long to Beat, The Witcher 3 main campaign is approximately 50 hours, while RDR2's main story is close to 40. If you add up the extra missions and activities in both games, you can stretch that time up to 20 more hours. Taking into account all the previous categories though, we can say that The Witcher is more fast-paced and most of the time is spent playing the game and not on horseback, which is an issue for many players in Rockstar's game. The winner? The Witcher 3. With almost 130 hours of gameplay if you own its expansions, The Witcher 3 is easily the winner in this category. Each game is an experience, and most importantly, an experience you want to last as much as possible. On that note, both games are more than 100 hours long, but Geralt's universe is far bigger, and it shows. That marks 5 points for Geralt in The Witcher 3 and 5 points for Arthur and Red Dead Redemption 2. It's hard to choose between two awesome games, especially if they're both developed close to perfection. It's up to you to choose which one you liked better, The Witcher 3 or Red Dead Redemption 2. Who is the king of open-world RPGs? Let us know in the comments below, and please feel free to express your opinion and any objections you have with our picks. I'm gonna go play Witcher 3 once again. Don't forget to subscribe to SegmentNext for more videos like this one, and I'll see you next time.